How's it going, guys? I'm gonna just do the usual, make sure everything's working. Excellent connection. We'll just refresh this. Working. Excellent connection. We'll just refresh this. Working. Excellent connection. We'll just refresh. So we're good to go there. Alright. So we will close this for now. Some people are just asking for some help on Unreal, so just answering them in the Discord. It's all good. So we left off. I don't think I'll be able to run it to show where we left off exactly what we're doing. Oh yeah, we left off and we were working on the profile. Now we couldn't get it to save, and that was a stupid error on my part, which I did find, guys. I told you I would let you know. Which, let's see if I could find it here. One of the places around here, we have a save variable where it's actually using... See if it's even in here. I don't believe it is. When we go to save, you know, everything. There's a spot where we're saving get profile. No. Populate. No. Selected. No. Right. But yeah, there's a spot where we save. It might be in the other blueprints. And when we go to save, I changed it because I don't like these underscores. I took out the underscore on just one of the things, and I didn't go to all of them and change it to all of them without no underscores. So it was looking for the wrong save file. It was looking for a save file with an underscore, and that's why it wasn't saving and updating the blueprint here. It wasn't updating this because it wasn't saving. That was it, really. But like I said, we're going to move on to the loadouts. And with the loadouts, just like everything else, he kind of wants you to use his menus, and then it probably has some sort of data table where he expects you to edit the appearance of the his menu. And so you could just change the style of his menu. And I think we'll have some examples, maybe even in this, where it's fetching the highlight values and fetching the different hover values, and you could switch the hover and the highlight values to whatever you wanted. And there was a game instance file that had a couple of those things. Let's see if... Yeah, and so he's setting text and stuff like that. So pretty much, we don't want to use at the end. We're not going to be using his UI. We're not using his menu. Just changing the look of his menu, because we already have our own menu, and we will be changing a lot of the looks. So a lot of his actual, remember, classes, his widgets, we have to make our own versions of those. And we're going to be editing them at some point. We just want to make sure the functionality's there before we start editing them. And so we want to make sure that they just keep the base, and then make sure everything's working before we start editing them. And so that's where we're going with. And so I have some errors here because what I was diving into next was so I think we started off with the weapon class, where you get your weapons, and then in the weapon class, it then references a loadout to get the weapon into the loadout. Oh, here it is. This is reset style, see? And this is where you're able to customize the style of the buttons. And it's going to draw them all as it is, right? So he wants you to use his menu, but you can set up your own style, and then the way the menu is already pre-built for you, but we'll be changing up the menu completely. But anyway, from the weapon layer, it calls out a loadout layer, which means we have to make our own loadout layer. And it's a little rabbit hole. So, you know, after I sorted out the loadout, all of a sudden you run into this, and you get an attachment layer. Well, we can't use his attachment, so now we're making attachments. And when we go to make our own attachment, we run into an attachment layer. So now we need to make our own attachment layer. So what we're going to do is drag this over into menus, copy here. We're going to go into menus. We're going to see this attachment layers. We're going to hit W. We're going to take the widget out of that, because when we hover over it, we'll know that it's a widget in the first place. I don't usually like underscores as much as possible because it gets a little crazy. I will do an underscore to separate it for the FH for finding home, so I could find it easier when I'm looking for all my style stuff. So boom, we have the weapon layer. In the weapon layer, we're going to be looking for some stuff. Instantly we got some errors here, and we're going to be maybe sorting this guy out, and hopefully we don't run into another problem. It's really weird when it starts referencing themselves, but it is what it is. Again, we're going to do from string, text name. Again, I'm going to move this to, probably move this in here. Slide this nice and tight in here. Alright, so this is even as it's going to get. Go here. This is the next spot here. It looks like we're going to have to move this over. And this is where it's getting that style again, which we'll probably ignore or get rid of later. This will allow us to do edits, to make it our own. Because again, at the end of the day, we need this more as a template to kind of help us start off. But, or, because we've already done a lot before, we're trying to get back to where we were really quickly. And I'm just one developer, so we're using it just as a template for the short term, and we will be making our own stuff later on. We're going to want to probably write this down here. And when I work with it, I might later on, if all things go well, you know, like Minecraft and all the other stuff, you start off by yourself, but sooner or later, if things go well, you get like a company. I'm going to want to keep everything as neat as possible, and sometimes the way they set up their blueprints is just not as neat as I would like it spread out and simplified. So I'm going to need to move this reset colors out of the way for now, because we're going to have to make this bigger, more space. I'm going to have to move these down for now. So add, we're going to kind of tidy up these lines here. So move this down here. So it looks like I'm going to need to move this back a little bit. Line these up here. I'm going to make this a little bit deeper here. It looks like I'm going to need some of these. And it also looks like I'm going to need some of these here. So we're going to have this line here. this side rail looks like it's the item after the optics, so we'll put that there, and we'll just crack a rewrote node. Guess we're going to want to go about that deep. We're just going to replace that. Then it looks like it's going to be the under barrel item. So we're going to make a renote node, bring that down, and we're going to pop that in there. And then lastly, it's going to be the muzzle. I'm going to make a rewrote node, and we're going to pop that in there. Now we only have the one line coming off there, and this nice and neat doot, 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 doot. These are all the items, and we're going to be doing about the same thing for the top here. So we're going to crack this rewrote node in right after this guy, and we're going to pop that in there. We're going to create another rewrote node right after this guy, and we're going to pop that in there. So now we have just the one rewrote node like that, and you can see how it nicely cleanly goes in each spot. So we are going to bring this up like this, and we're going to give this a little bit more space actually, so I could bring this in here, and you kind of get where that's going. I'm going to do a couple of reroute nodes here, so I could then swing this guy up here. And again, we kind of get where this guy is going. We got our pretty much 3 from the bottom here, and we want to bring this guy in. Then we got 3 from the side. All right. And then we can bring our reset colors back down. Not too sure what colors it's resetting. The style, but we're probably not going to be dealing with the style, so we will probably be getting rid of this method at some point. But again, I don't want to get rid of it now because I want to ensure everything is working first. We're going to have to fix that up. Widget layers. So this has some sort of attachment widget, which we want to access our attachments FF, attachments FH, sorry. Change variables. It's going to cause a little bit more errors, because we don't want to use the attachments, we have our own. So we're going to be editing. And that's where it's getting itself and calling itself, oddly enough, resets a bunch of gets, so we're gonna have a bunch of errors there. This is pretty good here, so we can move this up. I want to move this right along here. We're gonna start off right with this for loop. Now I don't mind extending this way when we need to. Looks like we are going to be needing to grab all this, bringing it out. Alright, attachment 1 and attachment. And widget index. It's just going to be 0. Not too sure where it's getting this widget index thing from. So we're going to need the attachment list from ours. I'm going to replace that. We can get rid of this one. And we're going to need the attachment list 1. Attachment list 1 from ours. And we're going to put it in there. We delete that, which will refresh that, and that will get rid of that error. This only needs to be a couple off for some reason. When you zoom out, it doesn't really squeeze in the box from the left or top. It squeezes in the box from the bottom and right. So only need like 1 or 2 squares from the left or top. But you usually need about 3 squares for the bottom and top. So when you zoom out, it doesn't accidentally clip some stuff or take some stuff away. All right. This time we're going to cast to attach. We see our attachments FH attachment layer. Attachment layer. Attachment layer. See, I took away the underscore again because I'm not a big fan of that. We're going to get the element from this attachment. We're going to just click on this attachment, and we are going to check his attachment layer. We copied it, but I don't think we opened it up. Let's go. So our profile editor, we'll keep that up. Game instance in menu widget will close for now. All right, and we will open up this. What was I looking for? They confirm it was just the attachment layer FH. Reset. Well, it was already swapped to this one. Anyway, so I could delete that now. Delete that. Yeah, I went to get this attachment layer because I was worried that I might have missed something, I believe. Widgets. The rest of these he kept kind of neat, actually. Usually I don't keep it this neat. I don't understand this throwing it underneath thing, though. It's a big weird for me. But I always take the true and stuff as the main primary and to work from there. So we have our slots. Is multiple options. We will and then now we got to bring this down. What I'll do to try to make it neater in this case specifically is I will throw it just like up here. What we'll do is we'll actually put it right in front of that line there. We'll have something like that. After that line there. Oh. Just to kind of make it a slightly more consistent straight line across. And just like this, again, straight line across. I think I did one block, yep, one block. And then these are just one space apart, pretty much. I'm gonna bring this out. I'm gonna bring this out slightly, and we'll do this. So we have our attachments, it looks like. Clear and attachment optics. So we're gonna go to active weapon, get active weapon. Can we do this? Yes. Can we do this? Yes. We're going to remove this active weapon. So now we got this, got this. So this still makes the most sense. In which case we could probably spread this out a bit and move this in here. And we will end up, these ones we can kind of slide underneath, I believe. So we gotta get our active weapon again. We're gonna swap that. We're gonna put this as the target, and we're gonna delete this guy. Click on that. Bring this guy back here. Bring this in here. We could actually make a couple nodes to have this nice and tight, and just do something like this. We're going to do this pretty much same thing with this last one. Clear attachment, so optics 1, optics 2, and front sight. And again, we're going to get the active weapon. We're going to change this. We should be able to delete this. Fixing that. And again, we're just going to rewrote node. Try to tidy this up here. And something like that. Doesn't look too bad. Prefer to keep these guys a little bit straight, or to do so, I'm going to have to move these things down here. There we go. We won't need to go as far with this one because there's not a ton of them. With a side rail, it's just a side rail, so active weapon. And we should be able to delete the active weapon now. There we go. All kind of lined up there. Put a spot down. See what we can make fit here. We're gonna go to active weapon again. This time we're gonna swap in this. And we're gonna swap at that. Delete this. Like these are, that's probably the spot we're going to be looking for. And get active weapon. And lastly, this is our muzzle. And we'll be putting it in there, deleting that. And now we could bring this guy into about 3. Our lowest spot is about here, so we will be able to bring this all the way up about, so it's about 3 from the bottom. We shouldn't have any problem with scrolling now. And there, I think we removed all the errors from the event graph at least. Alright. Oop. We did not right off the hop. We have this setup that we somehow ignored. This will be W attachments comes in. We will be getting attachments FH instead, and we will be setting that from attachments F8 we'll be getting widget index. We will not be getting widget index, we'll be just setting widget index to 0, I guess, so we will just delete that. We'll be getting active weapon. Active weapon. Get active weapon. And then we will hook up that guy. We'll move this here. Move active weapon here. And yeah. We could actually kind of bring a lot of this stuff down. So if we delete this here, we delete this here, and we refresh this guy, it'll remove that. This guy's nice and tight here. We can bring this here. Bring this here, I believe. This in line like that. That. These highlights here. We bring this all the way in to about here. And we can move reset colors closer as well. Because, yeah, I don't think we're using this widget function because it has nothing to do with, so I don't think our attachment has widget. It does have a get widget index. But I don't think that we're using it. We'll just put that there for now. So these are the methods here. Like I said, this looks so weird the way he has it set up. Some of it, sometimes it's just like super nice and clear, but other times it's like, what is going on here? So we're adding ID. That's what we're doing. So we're getting the active weapon. We're getting attachment lists from the active weapon. And again, these are just non-important things, so we can actually almost throw it back here if need to be. We're finding something. Finding the name, using the name to find the active weapon. We're finding the active attachment by name within the list. If it's greater than equal to 10. What is this? Oh, I see. This is this here. So we can move this almost like that now. Move this down. Greater than 10. That gives us our condition. Now we want to throw this under our condition. We don't want it going through nodes. And for now, we'll just have that there. Then we have a set array for true, which has this target, attachments, ID, get ID, target array. Got this. We can delete that, which will fix this guy here. Put that in there. We have this guy here, which again we're gonna want to break. It looks like this is the exact same guy here, so what we're gonna do is break this and pop that in there. Got this attachment. Oh, look, he used the rewrote node. That's not mine. So I'm gonna have to move this guy back a little bit. This guy back a little bit. Get access to this rewrote node. And this is actually the false. So we will end up bringing this down under here. And the false will just go right back up there. Bring these IDs over. And we will be getting the ID, get ID. Sliding this into there, which will be allow us to fix that then. And we will need this here, but we could probably just slide that into there, eliminating that bad boy. I think that looks a little bit, I know that could get looking a little confusing, but it's a little bit more easier for me to say, like, you know, we need the ID or the index, or sorry, this is just setting the condition. We need the condition, and these are all the things to get the condition. And from that condition, we are getting the item independing the item. Might need to pull this out a bit. Oh, add attachment. So I need to do add attachment. And we're going to slot both of these in here. Move this down, move this up. Or to drag that into there. And now this is useless. We'll delete that. Ooh. We're going to need to get active weapon from this as well. Active weapon. And this is just BP master. So we should be able to delete this, which will clear that. And we'll have a rewrote node, kind of so it doesn't cross in a little bit as much. Put that there, and we could bring this right on in. It's nice, tight, and there's no wiggle, 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 wiggle. So if we go here and we go into add to ID, we can see this is what it was, and this is now what it is. And it's could still, this area, just because there's so much stuff in this area, it could just as well look confusing as this. Some people prefer this, but I prefer a little bit more clear where the lines are going instead of just all flopping on top of each other. So we're gonna do that. Compiled nicely now. We're gonna save. And luckily, this widget looks like it's pretty simple. We just got highlight, style, designer, it's got attachment name, stuff like that. Nothing really big in the designer. And again, we checked out the event graph. We have no more errors in the event graph. Nice and small here. We did this add to method. Look at our highlight method, and again, it's just a lot of that button stuff that he had made. So again, we could clean up a lot of this widget later on, and even make it lighter, because a lot of this stuff is not needed. Anyway, so that's it for our layer attachment. Now, we should be able to go to our layer attachment here and do attach and layer FH. There we go. And he's doing the thing again, so we will kind of fix that up, I guess. So we're clearing the children. We don't want any children. Whoa, 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 whoa. Killing children. Alright, we're going to take these blue guys. We're going to move them up. This one over. We're going to make this guy bigger here. Bring him out. Sure. And so yeah, we'll bring that there. We can now just bring this in here. This is attachment layer FH. And this we can just bring down here. Reference. This is attachment layer or self loadout. This is attachment FH reference attachment layer. Is this coming off this here? I'm guessing. Reference loadout, and then we're attaching self to it. We'll compile here. Whoop. It's nice and neat, I believe. See, I hit a lot of this event graph already. Position to main, I hit. Didn't really get to this yet. Or fix up this. But we have a couple of more to get to. What the heck is this? Yeah, at some point I'm going to go through these and see if I can make a simpler version than this. But again, just to make sure everything's working off the start, it's kind of important. This is the first main item, so that will be there, and we'll move all the rest of the useless stuff back. So, weapon ID. So first is first. Try to line that up there. Got some room here to play with. This. There we go. I think that's pretty neat. And we could bring this nice in. Just one down from there. I don't want like too much space because these are pretty big. Yeah, we're already getting some bend pretty much. Ooh, and this ID kind of sit there nicely in the center kind of thing. So next thing here, array slot. I had to get the save slot ID and input it into here. And input it into here, making it useless, so we can close one of those. For this, we need it to go. We could bring it in into about like even there, and then we could just rewrote this down like that. Bring this guy here, more out of the way. Bring this slot over, and we're gonna need that. We're gonna need the all slots. Get all slots. Or just pipe that in there. We can get rid of this. It's gonna make things a lot neater. Boom. I need to be able to bring this in like that, nice and tight. And game instance. Nope. So we're gonna do game instance. This is one of the things I think I did without you guys. I added some stuff to my blueprint library. Client save loadout. And again. So these game instance are probably going to show you guys finding home. We got our systems, I believe, and we just have a general function library. These general function libraries, I think it's kind of dangerous. I've never seen this before. It's usually a nay in the world of coding, is having what's called global variables and global methods. These methods could be used anywhere by anyone. It's literally global. I think that's cray. But hey, maybe Unreal needs it. Maybe there's something that really needs it. And so what we're using here is this game instance. And what it really does is it's just grabbing my game instance. If I go into it here, it's from game instance, taking the context of the world. It's going to cast to my game instance and give me my game instance folder, my game instance file, which is this guy here, which has a bunch of stuff, right? You know what I mean? How the game is handled, what's saving, what's not saving, stuff like that. So it's going to grab my game instance for me, yeah, which is pretty important. Has a lot of stuff like saving the character or the client's loadout, which is pretty important. So client's loadout, we'll get the save ID from that. We'll get our loadout here, which I'm sure we could actually just grab from this. Actually, you know what I mean? We don't need the two menu loadouts. There's no changes here. So we could almost just break a pin here and, you know, split it up like that. And do loadout, get loadouts, just to make a nice straight line. As I say, as I wreck the straight line. I just want to also bring it down because we'll be having another pin here where we'll be getting the ID. Get ID. And this is obviously going into stats. So stats, don't need this anymore, which will leave these blanks, which I don't need anymore, which will leave this blank, just use that blank. So there we go. And that actually eliminates all the errors again. That was add attachment. We did create list. We could just double check all the rest of them here. Alrighty. So assign capital. Whoa. Yeah, we'll try to fix some of these guys up here while we're here. Enable slots. Man, this is not even on the line. At least the rest of them was on the cross here each time. This one's not, is it? No. This one's not. But for the most part, a lot of them are on the cross at least. So this guy's just all over the place. We gotta bring him all the way back so we can find our spot, keep it nice and neat. What is going on here? Why you do this? It's like he tries. He got these rewrote nodes, but just didn't want to use them. Didn't want to use them properly. Why? Why would you do this? Oh wow. Well, he does use a rewrote node. He just uses it to make it more confusing. Why? Oh wow. That's interesting. So we're just gonna bring this out actually. Kind of like that. Okay. Try to squeeze that in there like that. And then I bring this in right there. Man, I got the back of the TV stuck in my head from Persona. Everybody's playing it now because the Royals just came out on all the systems. Ooh. Actually back this guy up a little bit more. There you go. I think that looks a lot better. I know this is slightly boring, guys, but like I said, I just want to get everything sorted out, looking nice and working. It's easier if we run into I sometimes every time I decide to skip this cleaning up method, something goes wrong, and then it's like going back and trying to sift through this like code that I don't understand or looks too messy for me, and then it makes it like 10 times harder to find out what the problem is. Now with it like this, it's so easy for me to just slip in a print string here or a print string here, and we know what's going on. Is that just I'll bring this over. That's fine. So we are at enable attachment, load attachment. See, he could use rewrote nodes sometimes. He could do it. We have faith. Maybe I'll bring these slightly down one. So you can see that they're there. And I can bring them a little bit back. In this case, I think I'm actually just going to go like that instead of having the rewrote go up. There we go. And so that's load attachments. We got our highlights. That's fine. I'm not even gonna fix that. That's a little crazy. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Just enabling stuff. And lastly, our stats. Alright, we'll compile, save, and check how things are. Do 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 do. Save here. I think we have to check out the loadout. Maybe the weapon layer. So we'll get the loadout. Attachments. Target is weapon attachments. No, so this was supposed to go here. So we need reference menu from this. So do load out. Yeah. Reference attachment is to the weapon layer. So. Whoa. This must be a different area. This is an active weapon? This is the event graph. Ooh. Let's jump the gun there. Yeah, there we go. Weapon attachment here. In-game menu is actually blank, so that can stay blank. But we do want to throw this into there. And we do want to bring this down here. Bring this here. And we could swoop this up here. We are going to actually bring this down here. There's a little trick to this. We can go like this. And break to rewrote node like that. Now you don't need this. It's just gonna fix that guy in a second once we refresh him. Refresh. Compile. And that is good to go. Seems pretty light. This is the entire weapon layer here. There's not much to it, and as you can see, I straightened it out on my end here a lot more, as that was what the weapon layer was before. This is kind of what it is now, so it's a little bit more straight here. So yeah, I think it's all good to go. We will now see what happens. class Thunder. Yeah, this open. Sorry, I'm just getting a little annoyed with the big bang at the beginning every single time. So if we go to, actually it should be in our main menu. I don't know if it's our main menu UI actually, is it? At the top, at the top, at the top. Music theme. Sound, bass, type. Spawned, sound, play, forward. Okay, we will go here. LS music. Okay. We're gonna change this to, oh, I think that's my dyslexicness. SL music. I thought so. SL. Effects. We're gonna change it to effects. And just in case, we're gonna go to finding home. Will be in our UI menus, boot screen, animations, load in, close Thunder Q. Close Thunder Q, that's what it is. That's it. That's it. So we should be able to also test that. So we're gonna hit play. Way quieter. We're gonna make it even quieter. We're gonna down that. We're gonna go to settings, audio, and we want our effects like way down right now. You see, I got my little thing. I got my little guy in there. Oh, that's good. So yeah, I got the date, the time, my little guy, social tutorial. No matter what, he's just kind of there. You know what I mean? My thing. Unless I go to accounts and I click on profile, that will be there. Different. I could do maybe a smiley face now there, and I will do a winky face for my banner. I gotta change user avatar to banner. Darker Dream. I don't get to put my name because we only chose the name once. Username. Cancel. Oh, so we gotta change that. Change it to like username for some reason. And that's dark. I gotta switch that to white. Okay. But that's the profile. We know the outfit works and everything like that. So, should we go back to outfit? We can exit. That's fine. Yeah. So we change loadout. So a lot of the menus is working. Frag grenade, knife, we got the sounds and stuff. Obviously when it closes, it just closes. Oh. This is in loadout FH. And this is why we have to go through a lot of the methods. In loadout FH, of course, there's no error here because there is no problem, but it's just going to access none. Let's try to clean this up a bit. And so maybe for the loadout, we'll have to double check and go through each of the methods. I didn't want to because there's a lot of methods. We tried to do that before. So the thunder crashing, the fear of the night worked. And the boot screen was fine, so we can close those. Layer attachment stuff, we're still working on this. This here, wonder why it switched to username. Something to do with the blankness there. If we click on the banner, tint is white. Overlay, no thing. Converse 44. Wonder why that is dark. Username. I'll leave no title in there. User avatar. User. Do we need user? Just banners. And we'll click on here and we'll just call it avatars. Actually, in padding, I want about 5 from the left here. I'll just do that for now, actually. Avatars. And we'll just center justify it. Banners. Compile and save that. Oh, this is the actual editor. What am I thinking? So we need to go into, we click this, banner image, no, custom avatar, overlay, banner image, it's just the banner image. We want the small anyway. We might be able to go to it in graph. Did it say small profile? No. It could take a sec to find it. So we are just going to go to, here it is, small profile, banner image. Here we go. The tint, we want this to be white. Compile and save. Now if we go to, yeah, the designer here, this might look odd, but it will change color when we're in there. Once the profile is loaded. So we should be able to close that now. And we are working on this. Not this here. Our add weapon. Yes. I believe. FH add weapon. Yeah, we have this game instance here. We just wanted to sort this out. Got a little distracted there for a second. As we were just trying to fix up little items that we missed. So we have this, and this is the next line, and this is the next line. Looks like we get class twice. Interesting. And he has a rewrote node. Again, he's just not really using it. Not too sure why. So he's using the rewrote nodes here for this weapon. So even if it's not valid, it's still set in the name. It don't care. Oh, if it is valid, we're just destroying it. Either way. Because this is being used right away, yeah, we can get this nice and tight in there. It's pretty close. If we grab this, this is our first instance of class. So definitely, let's grab, oh, looks like it's here, yeah. Let's grab this, and we're going to actually pop another one here. And we're going to grab this and crank that into there, and no weird lines no more. So transform, weapon name, there we go. We got this active weapon. Now we have enough room kind of here. It's a little tight. We will spread it because it has a lot of stuff coming off this as well. Load. And we will kind of do that. A lot more neater. Now, bring this down here. Move this back a bit. We will see what we have for room here. Maybe we move this down because the first is ID. This is the second though. This is fine to go in like that. And then the third is slots. Then and save ID is the first. actually bring that back. Bring that back. Giving more room to these guys. So we could bring that all the way back there. We could bring this guy back here. This is second, so we can do something more along the lines. We also bring this in nice and tight. That. And then we'll bring this weapon name nice and tight. Then, and this is where we're gonna get our get game instance. Instance FH. There you go. We're gonna get our client save loadout. And this is going to be first. Then loadout will be second. Then ID will be third. And then save slot will be fourth. And we'll bring this over here. And so we can delete this, we could delete that. And then we finally have this guy here. So we want to bring this down to at least this area here. And again, this is the same, so we can actually just hook that into there. And we can slide this in here. Preview selected. And weapon name. Active weapon. And we should just kind of put that in like that. What is this? B gear. All right, and we will. What? See, they're literally overlapping each other. I'm not too sure why he did it like that. B modify. Get an active weapon. Things for the active weapon, like item. We're gonna bring the active weapon down here now. Because the socket rotation is pretty damn huge, taking a lot of room. This kind of makes the lines a little better. Actually, I could probably bring this down. Throw this like that. Which gives this guy more room. And the state is like that. Pile save. And that's the add weapon. So that's probably why it didn't add the weapon. They're actually supposed to be spawning the actor here. Unload out. Active weapon slot. Primary. Weapon highlight tab. Stats. Activate weapons according to slot. So loadout. So you gotta get the loadout from our game file here. Right? So we're gonna load our loadout. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna load our loadout. We're looking at the wrong one. And then for our humans, so just double check that looks the same. Yeah. So load our loadout. And then we're gonna activate weapon. Which we're looking at the weapon list, we're clearing it. Weapon, this is our weapon. Owning player. Does he have, this is activate weapon. No, owning player is blank. So yeah, owning player. Maybe we could get character controller. Get player controller. Oh. Add child a weapon widget, which is the weapon layer system. Style. Weapon layer loadout. And this is it. We're gonna add the weapon from the weapon layer to say it system. Add weapon. Alright. See this view, active weapon view is so let's talk out here. So what we'll do is we'll also do a print string. right here. Oh, we'll do it actually right here. Oh. It's more bigger here, so we'll do because the weapon should have spawned. Print string right here. What we're gonna do is we're going to break, transform, and get the location of the weapon here. So what's happening is he has a whole camera set up for his menu, and I think he has this entire menu screen where he's zooming around to see where this weapon is, and he's gonna take control of the camera. Where we have our own camera system and everything like that, so we have the camera depending on if you're doing character customizer or going to the main menu and stuff. So should be spawning the weapon. But just don't know if it's spawn it in location in screen. It's quiet. Still username, but it's bright now. Gotta make that a little bit bigger, I think, in the clock. Alright. Count loadout. Whoa. Try to just, out of curiosity, eliminate the sound effect to make sure that's working. I thought I put it quieter than that. Audio. Oh, we didn't save. Right, Dan. What are you doing? Apply. Graphics, audio. Graphics, audio. Okay, back. Now count. Let's see here. Loadout. 1010. Eject. See if I see this weapon anywhere. Alright. We'll end it there. Click on this tree, click the details. As I thought. Do I want to mess with something? Let's duplicate rock 2. And we want to set it to 0, 10. I think it was like 10. And then we're going to double click this rock. Is it this? I'm guessing it's this rock. Whoa. Way out here. No, no, no. Why do you want this way out here? Let's, we have our screen at the beginning focused, like, right here, don't we? Maybe we want this, like right. Camera's looking, it's a weapon. We want it, like, here. So let's try, like, 400 by negative 6250 by minus 250. Yeah. Let's try it to something smaller. Pebbles. Yeah, it's like right in the center of the camera area. I think that's good. So we will copy that location. Spawn transform. Variables. Spawn transform. Find references. Get spawn transform. Default values. -10, -10. It was -10. Paste. It was in the ground. Why would he have it in the ground? Compile. Save. Let's see if he's changing those values anywhere. And again, I know it makes no sense to have a floating weapon when they're like the island right there, but we will look at that later. Again, we're just working on functionality right now, so. There we go. No super loud thunder crash while we're doing stream. There's our nice rocks. Pretty dead center, like I was saying. We might need to raise it up a bit. Alright. So we'll go to account, loadout. Shotgun. Sniper. So he's not changing. He's not changing eject. Oh, there's the rifle. It's still -10. So he is changing. Actually have it highlighted. Sniper. Its location is still the location where it's supposed to be, but it's actually not there. It's still 0, -10, -10. So this is not working. So yeah, if we do 0, -10, -10, compile, we play, it's going to be still in that same spot. Count, loadout, eject. Now we know where it is. It's out in the sea. Out in the sea. Whoa. It's actually harder to move my camera right now. Is it not enough? Are you down there? No, that's just a, oh, it is. There you go. So that is still. If we click on this rifle, it's 10 negative 10. It's here. So it was there before. If. Oof. Yeah. Paste. And we. No matter what we click, it's going to shoot back to here. Interesting. So, why is that? Why is that? Is this attached to something? Active weapon. Get socket name. In socket name center. Active weapon item. Oh. So we are done here. We are going to connect this back up. Going to break this link. We're going to delete this. And we're going to take our print screen and move it along. Move it along, chum. Add it here. Add this here. And we are going to see. Oh, this is from the active weapon, which is from the master weapon object reference. Loadout add weapon. Is viewer. Find reference. That's inspecting the weapon. This is adding the weapon in the layer map. This is all UI. This is definitely not spawning this weapon anywhere else. Um, I'm going to add a variable myself. It's going to be a vector variable. I'm going to call it FH menu weapon adjust for menu. I know that's a super. Oh, I could take this, put it there actually. Oh, weapon adjust for menu FH. We'll do wep edge menu. Weapon adjust for menu. Weapon edge menu. We're going to go to we're going to compile so we get the default values here. We're going to paste. Nope. Do we still have our rocks there? We still have our rocks here. We're going to copy. We're going to paste. Get this. And we're going to hit Control C. Now if we compile, we have this thing here. We are going to add it there as well as add it here. We can get the rotation from the socket, sure, but we definitely don't want the actual menu position there. We're going to so it is an item, and so the item is getting set to 0, 0, dead center of the world. But the weapon is being moved -10 from the item. But I don't even think that's even mattering, because it will, no matter what, even when we put it like to the -6000s, it didn't even move. It was still spawning at 0, 0 pretty much. So we go to account, loadout. There we go. As you can see, obviously we need to laser, underbarrel, muzzle, optics. SMG, shotgun. Again, we could set whatever. So let's hit stop. Ooh. That's important to know. Render P master settings. The amount of time we access this active weapon, active weapon, active weapon. Oh man, this is in mine. Like, that's just stats. Oof, active weapon. The amount of time we use active weapon, which is this master active weapon, and every single active, you know what I mean? Like, every single thing uses this active weapon. And, active weapon's just a blueprint. Like, it's just the. So I think, like, to try to change active weapon right now, like, to my own active weapon, could break a lot of stuff. So unfortunately, I'm gonna just have to add my game instance here. But there could be other places where load settings. I don't have a load settings, do I? Use pip? Picture render target? I did not do this because save settings, accuracy level progress. I think that was just something silly. Music, volume, epic, distance, show FPS, flame word, use pip is one of the options. Because we have our own, remember guys, we have our own settings. So I didn't want to bring this in because we're not going to use his volume, we're not going to use his shadow quality, we're not going to use his motion blur. But use pip is something. So what we could do is just in the game instance itself, go to finding home systems, game instance. We can create a bool called use pip. Save. Use picture-in-picture target rendering. Dynamic scope. This is a dynamic scope. And adds the capture 2D in there. Or use traditional field of view change. Capture. Actor. Use pip as false. We already established that use pip as false. Why is it asking again? Use pip should still be false. And then if it is true though, we change view and we create dynamic mesh. Does he have a pip here? Is it? We find references. Is it coming from use? No. Use pip. Use pip. setting pip, we get it from optics data. So the optics data will state if it wants to use pip or not. Reset optics value data. We reset it all. Alright. So if it's false, just destroy pip. If it's false but it's true, it's going to create a dynamic instance. If it's true and it's true, it's going to create the dynamic instance and add the capture. So I think the pip thing is the cool thing to do for now. So what we will do in our game instance is we'll default it to true. We'll add in our settings later where somebody could change it to false. And then in this weapon here, we're just gonna look for pip, get use pip, and we're gonna just throw it in there. This is now useless. We delete this. This whole loading the entire settings is useless. We can delete this. Yeah. Getting the game instances now useless. We can get rid of that. Since we're already doing edits here, we will drag this here and kind of sort this out a bit. Let's see if we run into more settings problems later on for ignoring the settings. I don't think so though. I think it'll just be it's getting dangerous. All right. Render capture 512 by 512. He's using reroute nodes and everything here. I knew he could make stuff nice and neat. Not too sure why he doesn't before. Like sometimes he's like, yeah, let's make nice and neat stuff. Other times he's like, oh crap, I'm gonna throw this all together. Throw it all together in like 2 seconds. I ain't got no time. Just throw it together. 1, 2, 3. Eh. Optics, what are you doing up there? What are you doing up in there, Optics? We need you over here. This will be nice and quick to change, I believe. It's pretty small. Alright guys, remember it's pretty much 11 o'clock and that's all I have time for. So do gotta work early in the morning. Still a military member even though I'm broken. Still got lots of work to do while I'm there until they either fix me or kick me out. Alright. So fix that error. Let's the thing with the render pip though, I think it might be a performance thing. But picture render target. Alright. So we hit oh, we were supposed to do some changes, I think. So everything looks good now. This is fine. We don't need this print string no more. But we do want to adjust it higher. Maybe 500 or maybe even 550. We will see. Shit, the locks left. Yeah, so maybe 300. Oh, maybe only just 450. That's in and out. So okay, and we could delete these rocks now. So maybe just 450. But we'll do like yeah, 6400. See how that looks. So now we got rid of the rocks. Kind of adjusted it a bit, and other than that, oh yeah, the other thing we had to look at is just when we hit the back button. If it's at 0, we just want to close and go back to our main menu. So escape. Game in-game menu. So it's setting in-game menu or menu widget to visible. Main menu widget to visible. If it exists, remove from parent. Destroy actor. Pretty much. This is where we want to probably show weapon. Returned in-game menu. We want to get parent widget. Set that to keyboard. Focus. and visible. Set visibility. Again, same with this one here. We're gonna duplicate here. If it's not, we're gonna get this guy's visibility. This is just setting to focus, so we should be able to eliminate these two. Bring this guy down. Exit viewer. No, I think it's the same thing. So I think if it's exiting viewer, we still also just want to go down here. No matter what. We'll see. We'll see. We'll do a quick test, and then that will, after we save, and that will be it. And we'll go over show you guys some stuff on next Sunday, because that will be pretty much it for this week, because it is Tuesday. So, well, for the beginning of the week, we do the Sunday and Tuesday stream back to back, pretty much, or Sunday and then Tuesday. So that's it for this Sunday and Tuesday. Next Sunday and Tuesday, like I said, I should have this this working. If this doesn't work, if this does work, then the functionality, then we'll be going into the next phase. Like I said, looks like the menus are pretty much working at this point, and we'll go into starting to transfer over, getting the character to work and stuff like that in the tutorial map area, and which will also pretty much work for the single player and multiplayer. All the stuff that we start working on will affect all the rest of the levels pretty much from here on out and make everything work. So we'll go into account settings, we'll go to change loadout, shotgun, we lost our weapon? Is 400 way too much? What do we do here? We have our weapon here. SMG. Damn it. Ooh. Game instant save client. Where are you? Yeah, this is why we gotta go. We pretty much gotta go through all of the methods. Add empty. Yeah, so we did add weapon, add empty now. We gotta go through a lot of these. So I'm just gonna fix this up quick. Game instance FH, because this is pretty silly from client. Save loadout. We'll just click here, click here, click here. Mine's bigger because I have a bigger name, I think. And we'll just delete that. And the other thing was in the add weapon, what we did was I did positive 6400. It's supposed to be negative 6400. That was the quick test. It's super quick. Not even going to save it. Just going to compile so you can see it. Account loadout. Ooh, too much. So it moves a great distance. Yeah, so I'll probably just quickly fidget with that, make sure it's a little bit neat. So 64, we were at 250 and we moved it 150 over, was way too much. So we're negative like maybe 350, maybe just like each 50 point is a pretty big difference from the looks of things. Maybe we just need to do a quick compile. But seriously, after this test though, I'm gonna have to head out. That big annoying bang being gone is kind of like, it's not bad like to kind of wake people up before they join the game. That's the kind of premise. But when you're doing it 100 tests, ooh. So yeah, 300 probably. That's yeah. It's definitely looking good. Alright, yeah. Is it nice and quick, nice and quick, nice and quick. There we go. There we go. Like I said, obviously you have to change the color. But now we got our different things. You could have knife, medicine, explosives. We gotta change the menus so we could see them. You know what I mean? But you could actually see the recoil, rounds per minute, control, stuff like that. And again, like even like click the secondary, we have a little thing here. You might be able to add side rails, little laser pointers, stuff like that. Muzzle, you might add a silencer to it. But yeah, that's the loadout thing. Thank you guys so much for checking in with me. It's always greatly appreciated for anybody who stops by. Just and like I said, we're gonna keep cracking away, keep getting this going, and see you guys again on Sunday, hopefully. For now, ciao.